Well, Carly Fiorina making headlines this morning for taking on Donald Trump at the debate, but also for what she said about our foreign policy.
We could rebuild the missile defense program. We haven't. I will. We could also, to Senator Rubio's point, give the Egyptians what they've asked for, which is intelligence. We could give the Jordanians what they've asked for, bombs and materiel. We have not supplied it. I will. We could arm the Kurds. They've been asking us for 3 years. All of this is within our control.
I think she understands what's going on in the Middle East. Many say that Carly Fiorina won last night's debate and has the momentum going forward.
So joining us right now, 2016 presidential candidate Carly Fiorina. Ms. Fiorina, thank you very much for joining us. How do you feel this morning? There are so many people out there who said, I hadn't really seen her and I was impressed with what she had to say.
Well, good morning to all of you. That's true. A lot of people hadn't seen me. In fact, going into the debate last night, still about half the country had never heard my name, didn't know I was running for president. And so this was a huge opportunity for me to continue to introduce myself to the American people. And what I'm finding, honestly, is if people hear me, if they see me, if they understand who I am and what I would do, they tend to be supportive. And so I was really pleased with last night.
And you found civility and strength on that stage, particularly when you took on Donald Trump. We're going to show everybody that moment right now.
Donald Trump said the following about you, quote, "Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that, the face of our next president?"
I think women all over this country heard very clearly what Mr. Trump said.
You had the most positive results across social media, people definitely responding to that. Carly, how do you walk the line between being that strong woman and also being compassionate enough? She needs to smile more. She needs to be stronger. How do you walk that tightrope right now as a woman?
Well, I also talked about the fact that we lost our younger daughter to addiction. I think what the American people want to see is who you really are. And not every occasion calls for a smile, honestly. It doesn't call for a smile when you're talking about the dangers that we face in the world, whether it's the Middle East or from Vladimir Putin. It doesn't call for a smile when we're talking about very serious issues that impact people's lives. But of course, people want to know your whole personality. You don't get that opportunity in 15 minutes, but I hope a lot of American people learned a little bit more about me last night, who I am, what I believe, what I would do.
Well, you went from the second stage to the third most, getting the third most time on the main stage. Here's a question from one of our viewers. They say this for you, Carly. What is your economic plan to get control of what will be in excess of a $20 trillion deficit when President Obama leaves office? How do you do that?
Well, there are only two things we can do to reduce our debts and deficits: grow the economy and cut spending. Grow the economy and cut spending. The good news is if we cut spending in the right way, we help to grow the economy. So, example, we have a 73,000-page tax code today that is crushing small businesses. Small businesses create 2/3 of the new jobs in this country and employ half the people. So if we take a 73,000-page tax code and make it 3 pages, we're not only reducing the number of people necessary at the IRS by a lot, but we're also lifting the weight of government off of small businesses' backs. The truth is there is so much opportunity to cut spending in Washington, D.C. It just never gets done. And this is why people are tired of politicians and tired of politics. They know the system is broken. We talk about tax reform, just to stay with that example. We talk about it every election cycle, and yet it never happens. This is why people say, I'm sick of politics. I want a leader who will challenge the status quo, who will produce results, and who will solve festering problems. That is what I offer the people of the United States: leadership.
All right, Carly Fiorina, a Washington outsider, joining us from California today. Carly, thank you very much, and congratulations on a good show last night.